Hey there, welcome back to Melanie Loves Death Metal. Got a collection update today. I bought a bunch of shit from Relapse Records. This whole entire video is going to be Relapse Records reissues that I just picked up. I got them in last week, meant to record this video before the end of the week, and then I just never got time to do it, so I'm excited. These are all reissues that I've been dying to have in my collection on vinyl, and they finally came out. And then there's one, like two other ones. Should I put them in here? There's two other ones that I didn't get last week. I've had, and I held on to them to show off because I knew that these other ones were coming. So I wanted to like put it in one video and have it just be completely Relapse Records focused. So, but before I get started, you're going to hear a lot of really random shit in the background. They are currently tearing up my bathroom floor. Not my bathroom, my kitchen floor. My bathroom floor was 2 weeks ago. My kitchen flooring, it's a lot of noise, so you're probably going to hear that, but I wanted to get a video out today because it's been a few days. I'm trying to stay consistent and at least have 1 or 2 videos up every week. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you weren't familiar, Relapse did a bunch of reissues, and they announced them like 2-3 weeks ago. Maybe even 2. I think they got it to me super quick, which is great. I appreciate that. And it was Suffocation, Nile, and Necrophagist. Is that how you say their name? Necrophagist? I don't know. Anyway, let's get ahead and get started. So the first one needs absolutely no introduction. Suffocation, Human Waste. This is a reissue. This is their first EP that came out on 91. Easily one of the most iconic EPs to be released in death metal and their collection. Probably one of my all-time favorite, like, I know it's not a full-length album, but albums to listen to. I only owned this on CD up until now. Jesus Wept, Catatonia, Synthetically Revived. Like, those are some of my all-time favorite songs. Human Waste is a great song that Suffocation has put out. Like, this whole entire EP is just massive. It's just so good. So this was what I first saw. Like, the message was like, we reissued this. And it's like, oh my God. Quickly bought it, and then I made a second order for the rest because then they announced the rest. I was like, oh shit, I missed those. So it was 2 different orders, unfortunately, but they all came on the same day, so that worked out well. I think there was only one color variant. It was this like gray with blue and red splatter, which I think looks nice. It goes well with the cover. Sounds great. And then I'm sure you just noticed that there are 2 tracks here, the Involuntary Slaughter and then Re-Incremation. It's from the Re-Incremation demo 1990. So this is basically a compilation because those 2 songs are on here from that demo. That was like the very first demo that Suffocation ever put out in their career. And it's very raw sounding, but it's awesome. I'm glad I have this on vinyl. This is like one of my all-time favorite death metal EPs to ever be released. Lyric sheet, old school band photo. Really, really nice reissue. Looks great, sounds great. I've spun this so many times since I've gotten it the last week. And I was super happy that they released this. So they're still available. I don't think they sold out. I think they pressed, yeah, this was limited to 1,000 copies. It's a tricolor merge with splatter edition. That's what it is. So yeah, that's the first one. Also, I just love the artwork. Human Waste right there. I've always just been in love with this artwork. Just absolutely adore it. Next is another Suffocation reissue that they did. Something that I have never owned on physical formats. So I was super excited. Oof, sorry about that. I just smacked myself into the mic. I'm a little out of practice right now. It's been like a week since I've recorded a video. This is from 1998. It's the EP that came right after Pierce from Within. Despise the Sun. I have never owned this on physical copy of any sorts. Not on CD, not on cassette, like nothing. So this, as soon as I saw this, it's like instant buy. Along with that, this is a great EP. If you're not familiar with this, after Pierce from Within, which is my favorite Suffocation album, they just continued on. They released great music. This EP is so good. This is a butterfly splatter, which I think looks phenomenal. Goes well with the cover artwork. I really, really enjoy Relapse's butterfly splatters, and Translation Loss, which has the same production manager, Drew, also does this butterfly splatters too on a lot of their pressings, and I think they look awesome. It's one of my favorite color variants that they do. Printed inner sheet, it's just lyrics. It's kind of hard to see. I have a really shitty glare going on right now. Because of the way my office is set up. But yeah, just a printed inner sheet of lyrics. That's it. Pretty basic, but yeah. Finally got this on ye old record. So this is probably still available too. They pressed a lot of these. This was limited to 900 copies. I don't know if there was another color version of this. I can't remember. There might only just be these ones. So that was it. Those were the 2 Suffocation reissues that I got. So now I'm like 6 away from what I need in that collection. And then they reissued these 2. This was a couple more weeks ago, and I held off on them. I wanted to make a big purchase together and get them all at the same time. But again, vinyl that I've never had this in my vinyl collection. I've only owned these on CD. I was super pumped. And this, of course, is Nile. What is this again? Amongst the Catacombs of Neferenka. I'm really bad at album names, as you guys know. But yeah, Nile, I think I don't really need to talk about Nile. You guys know who Nile are. This is their first full length that came out like back in 98, 99. 98. I should just look at my notes that I have up right here. So they reissued this. I've never owned this on vinyl. Like I said, I've only had it on CD. I have a really crappy digibook of it. I'm not a fan of it. One of my all-time favorite death metal records. I think a lot of people will say that. Technical, brutal death metal is what they generally are. They're more technical for the most part. But yeah, I love this album. I think it's fantastic. Is it my favorite Nile album? I go back and forth between this and Black Seeds of Vengeance and In Their Darkened Shrines. The first 3 Nile albums, I just absolutely love them. Still listen to them all the time, and I have a hard time picking which one is my favorite. So this is this special edition. This was super limited to 500 copies. It is a custom 3-color merge with splatter, and then they released another variant. I know that's pressed on more, which is a really nice vibrant splatter too. That looks really good, but of course I picked the more limited one, and I think it looks awesome. It goes great with the album cover. It sounds great. While I was moving my office from room to room, I listened to this I think 3 times, and then I listened to the next one I'm about to show you. I've been spinning these a lot. Printed inner sheet, it's just notes, liner notes, and lyrics. Some cool artwork from the album cover. But yeah, this is still available. I don't know if this particular variant is available, but I know that the other one is, and record stores are starting to get them. I saw Vinyl Altar got them in stock. I saw Meteor Gem has them. Your local store may have them. So if you don't want to buy directly from Relapse, if you want to support some smaller local business, they probably already have them. So this one, and yes, Black Seeds of Vengeance. They reissued this one. Again, I've never owned this on the record format. Looks great. This one was also limited to 500 copies. This was also a custom 3-color merge. Black Seeds of Vengeance came out in 2000, which is funny to think about. That was it's crazy to think that these were that long ago. Over 20 years ago. Look at that. Looks so good. I love these colors and the way it looks. It's just stunning. Look at that. That orange in the middle with the splatter and the merginess all around it. They look really good. You did a good job, Drew, planning these out. I think this also had another color variant that was more common that they pressed more of. I can't remember what it looks like, to be honest with you. And then printed inner sheets of just lyrics and liner notes. Nothing fancy there. This is also an incredible album. Like I said, I go back and forth between the first 3 Nile albums to be my favorite, but I absolutely adore this album too. Man, there are some great songs on these albums. Like the themes that Nile have on their albums, and the interludes, and like the segues into songs that are like all Egyptian themes, like just so good. It's a nice change of pace compared to other death metal that I generally listen to. And yeah, it's just a really great album. So this is still available. I saw some local stores are getting them and saying, hey, we have them now. And I didn't get this in the same package, but I threw it in here because I haven't shown it off on here. They actually reissued this last year, and I waited on it, and then it sold out. But then I found somebody on Discogs 2 weeks ago that was selling it for retail, not trying to rip you off. Some of these people have them for sale for like $50 right now, but I finally got it. And I would say for a long time I have considered this one to be my favorite Nile album, and but like I said, I go through the first 3 back and forth. It really just depends on my mood. And then here's In Darkened Shrines. Like I said, this was released last year, and I only owned it on CD, and at the time I was like, I have it on CD, I'm fine, I'm not going to buy the reissue. I've bought so many other things, and then immediately regretted it, and then it sold out and I wasn't able to find it anywhere. This was in 2002. I really do like the other Nile albums. Like Annihilation of the Wicked is a good album. Itaphallic, I never say that right, is a great album. Those Whom the Gods Detest is probably the one that I listen to not as much, and same with At the Gate of Sethu. Those 2 I don't listen to a whole lot. I need to get a little bit more familiarized with. Towards the newer Nile catalog, I would say I'm not as familiar with, except for Vile Nihilotic Rites that came out in 2019. I love that album. I thought it was fantastic. I'm very familiar with that one. What Should Not Be Unearthed is probably my least familiar one that I am with Nile, but the obviously like first 3-4 albums in their collection or discography I'm very familiar with, and they're just some of my favorite death metal records. So this is a 2 LP, and this pressing looks awesome too. It's that green and then the like gold and brownish on the other side. Looks really good. So yeah, like I said, I got this off a private seller on Discogs. He doesn't own a shop or anything. He just has his own private collection up there. And he was selling it for retail, so I snagged it the same week that I bought these other reissues because I regretted it. It is a gatefold. Really nice gatefold. Artwork. The backness right there. And I've listened to this a ton too. The last several weeks have been heavily dedicated to Suffocation and Nile. I find that I tend to binge discographies when that happens, and that's exactly what I've been doing. Going back and listening to my favorite albums by these bands, and then only listening to them on top of a couple of other new releases that I'll show off in another collection update. I wanted to just focus on these Relapse reissues right now, and these Relapse issues, I should say, because one of them's not a reissue, and focus on that. But I do have several other new records that I have gotten in that I definitely want to talk about. I actually might just dedicate full videos to them because I think it's worth it. All right, and then finally, the last reissue that came in my package last week is, again, the band that I can never say their name right. It's either Necrophagist or Necrophagist or Necrophagist. I don't know, but does this even need to be talked about? No. I've never owned this on vinyl either. I've always had just a CD. Epitaph, if you're not familiar, this was a special reissue. This was limited to 1,500 copies, so it's nice that they pressed a lot of this because, again, an out-of-print album from a band that is currently split up, and they've only released 2 full lengths. This was 2004 when this came out, and then their first one was Onset to Putrefaction, which is also a great album, but this one is always the one obviously I prefer, and I think a lot of people just absolutely, this is like a cult classic is what I like to call it. Technical death metal at its finest. Like, I like technical death metal. I have to be in the mood for it. I don't have to be in the mood for this record. I absolutely love this record. This is one of just top-notch technical death metal. So I was super happy when I saw that they reissued this because, again, I've only owned it on CD. It would be great if these guys came back, but, you know, it is what it is. you know. But anyway, it's a kind of common like oh, there's gonna be a new record by them. No, but yeah, no, obviously no. But okay, butterfly. Is this a butterfly? Yeah, I guess this is a butterfly splatter. There it is. There's the flooring. All right, not gonna edit that out. You guys are just gonna have to hear it. Of course, as soon as I'm recording the video, they start doing the loud things. It's been quiet for like an hour. Figured, oh, I have time. Maybe I don't. But yeah, this is reissued. It's still available. I don't think it's sold out. Printed inner sheet of the bands. Lyrics. Was there anything? I thought for some reason there was... I'm timing this perfectly. Stopping talking right as they do it. No, there's nothing else. Fantastic. I need to get some noise canceling microphones. So there you go. That was the last one I got in the bundle of reissues. Again, these are still available if you're looking to get these on vinyl records. Go ahead. This video is going to be great. You guys are going to love it. And then finally, the new obituary. Got it off Vinyl Altar. $22. They were selling it for cheaper than what Relapse was selling it for. I don't know how that was possible, but good job, Vinyl Altar. Finally got the new obituary album, Dying of Everything. This is my favorite record to come out this year so far. It's February. Chill. Calm down. Just so far that's been released. This is my favorite record to come out in January. Again, not calling album of the year here. Let's calm down. But I just got the orange vinyl version. I didn't order it from Relapse. I was waiting for some local shops to get it. Vinyl Altar said, hey, I have it. My local shop didn't have it. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to order it. Get it out of the way. Of course, it has the iconic Lewandowski artwork. Rest in peace to him. Which I absolutely love. I think it's great for this record. Look at that. And the theme of this record, I think it fits. It's a great album. Obituary is iconic. And I lump them in with Nile and Suffocation of just an immolation too. And Dying Fetus. Of just continuously making great albums after how long they've been together. Like, you know, I think it's a great album. I don't care what everybody else has been saying. I think some other people have been shitting on it, but whatever. Saying it's boring or whatever else, but I don't think that. The hype sticker, which I recently just learned people really like when I read the hype stickers. The highly anticipated new album from death metal legends, Obituary. Cool. Orange Crush Edition. That's what this is. This is the most, I think this is the one that's been pressed on the most, so this is the one that you can find. Relapse still has it in stock, but for whatever reason, Vinyl Altar was selling it for a couple dollars cheaper. And then with the shipping, it still was cheaper. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to support Vinyl Altar. So yeah, great album. I'm super happy I got this. That is all that I have today. Apologies on the flooringness. I'm hoping that they'll be wrapped up today. I do have, probably going to do another collection update because I have several new records that I want to talk about in preview. I didn't do any of the previews on this edition because, like, if you're here, you most likely already know these albums, even the new Obituary album. There's just no point. But I do have some underground stuff that I want to show off in the next couple of episodes, so hopefully that'll be going out, and I will see you guys in the next one.